Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So this week I will be live. Obviously, I am live right now. I will be live on today, Tuesday, but I will not be live on Thursday. This is our week for our weekend retreat. So it starts on Thursday and it goes till Sunday. So we have 4 amazing days of crafting and just some girl time, and I'm super excited. I'm sure everybody else that is coming is as well. So I won't be live on Thursday. Thursday is the start of it, and usually right about 7 o'clock is we're starting to order dinner or picking it up, and things are just crazy and we're having fun, and I usually forget that, oh my goodness, it's 7 o'clock. So I literally cancel my Thursday Facebook Lives when it is retreat week. Any other time I would be here Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this week you will only get me today. And with that being said, that is why I decided to do an amazing fun fold. It is a little bit more than I would usually do on a Facebook Live, but it is so fun and so cute. I couldn't resist but to show you guys how to put it together. And hopefully, cross your fingers, some of you guys will be making it this weekend during retreat. So anyway, if you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. Hopefully you guys had a good day. I really didn't get out into the craft room at all. I came out this morning to do the Facebook Live card, and then my husband had a doctor's appointment, I had a doctor's appointment, and then I had another doctor's appointment, and that was a debacle, so we won't even mention that. So needless to say, my day was pretty much shot, so I didn't get out to craft much. And tomorrow I have to work, and then Thursday is the live. So the RV garage is cleaned out. Nothing is done. Nothing is set up. So that is what I'll be doing tomorrow and Thursday morning before people start to arrive. Yes, last minute me this time. But it's just because I've had a ton of family stuff going on the last couple days. But anyway, I am here and I'm so happy you have joined. Good evening, Heather. So let me go ahead and scoot you over, and I want to see if we are live on my iPad. I know for some reason, sometimes it takes a little bit for it to show up. Oh, and I think I see it. There it is. Okay, we are good to go. So let me start with the designer series paper we're going to be doing. And this is the Hostess set. It's the Flowers and More 12 by 12. So let me grab my catalog really quick so I can show you, because we are allowed to show the inside of the catalogs. But the one that was on my desk, I took in the house. So I just had to run over and grab it really quick. So on the very last page of your catalog, it is the host a party, earn rewards. So if you host a party, you can either host it in the studio or at your house, or even if you wanted to be your own hostess, you can get this entire pack of designer series paper. You get 48 sheets, 4 of each sheet, and it is spectacular. I'll actually show you some cards that we did with it at card class on Saturday. And I really don't have a whole lot of the designer series paper left because I've used so much of it. But it's so bright and cheery and fun. And I love all of the designer series paper, or the cardstock colors that are in it. So you can really pair any of these cards with the different colors of cardstock that we have. And I'm going to show you 3 cards using 1 designer series paper. That's what we're going to be playing with tonight. But it is super fun, and it is definitely well worth it. I loved all these blues and flowers. It is definitely a fun color. So I did use this in my card class on Saturday. So let me show you what we did. So we made 2 of each of these cards. So we did the Silly Goose stamp sets. We did 2 in the owl. So this is all using that designer series paper. So it doesn't have to be for any specific theme. You can really use it for you can pair it with any of our stamp sets. So those are the cards that we did. We actually did this one as well, but this one I didn't use designer series paper. This set was used with, in the back of the celebration catalog, you have the Beautifully Happy. It's the 2-tone stamp set that is so easy to put together, and it is definitely phenomenal. And that sentiment is from the celebration set as well. So that's what we did on card class on Saturday, and I think I have a couple left if anybody wants those to go as well. Good evening, Anna and Jessica. If you're logging on, say hi so I know you're here. Hello, Elaine on YouTube. Thanks for joining. So for this card, I brought in the Occasionally Funny stamp set, and I brought in the mini pocket envelope dies. So I really wanted to use this hooray down here at the bottom, and it really could be hooray for anything. So you could do hooray for a graduation, a congratulations for a baby. If somebody did something amazing at work, you could use it. I actually had a couple of new team members, and I wanted to send them a card that says hooray. So that's this image, or that's the stamp that I wanted to use, but I was trying to find something that it would fit into. And it fit perfectly in this little die that's in the mini pocket envelopes. So that's what I paired with the stamp sets. So there's those. And are you guys ready for the card? I hope everybody's sitting down because it is definitely super duper cute. So here is your card. I definitely could have decorated this a lot more. You can really elaborate with this card, but I really like showcasing just the designer series paper. So when you open it, it opens like this. So that is what we're going to play with tonight. So there's lots of moving parts and pieces to this card. So I've written everything down, and I did write before I went live the description and all of the dimensions of everything before I went live. So if you don't have to write everything down as I'm going. Good evening, Roberta. Welcome. So this card I did with the Granny Apple Green, and let me pull out the designer series paper so you can see it, the full sheet of it. So this is the full sheet of the designer series paper. So you have your Orchard Oasis, you have your Starry Sky, Poppy Parade, Polished Pink, Crushed Curry, the Blackberry Bliss. I literally did not write any of these colors down, so I'm going off of it by memory. You have your basic white and you have your crushed curry. So you have so many colors that are in this on this side. And then if you flip it over, you have your fresh freesia and Blackberry Bliss. So you could use either side, but I loved how gorgeous this side was. So that's what we're playing with today. Good evening, Nora. Welcome. I have to look over on my computer because the YouTube comments don't show up on my iPad. So this one I use Granny Apple Green. This one we're going to be using, I used Starry Sky. So this is a piece of Starry Sky, and you definitely don't have to write these measurements down because it is already typed up before I went live. But this is 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So we're going to set that aside. You have another piece of Starry Sky. This is 3 1/2 inches by 8 inches, and I scored it right in half at 4. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot that to the side, and this is where it kind of gets a little tricky. So we have 4 pieces of our basic whites. We have one that is 4 by 5 1/4. That's this piece right here. We have 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. That's these 2 pieces. And then our last piece is 4 inches by 2 1/2. And that's this piece. So whatever your basic white is, you want to go down a 1/2 inch in both of these measurements. And that is what brings us to our designer series paper. So you have, so you have one piece that is 3 3/4 by 5. One piece, it's actually this one, 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then we have 3 by 3 1/2. So you need 3 pieces of designer series paper, and you need 4 pieces of your basic whites. So now we can get started with assembling our card. So our first piece, we're just going to go ahead and fold this in half. You're gonna line up the edges, grab your bone folder and give that a good crease. We can set that to the side. And this is our card base. So we're gonna fold it right in half. And then let me flip it so it's going the right direction. And this score mark, we're just gonna fold back on itself. So I know I've made kind of the Z fold, and that's what this is a Z fold, but we're gonna do some other mechanisms to make it be a fun fold. Okay, so now let's just start playing with this guy. So we have our 2 pieces of basic whites, and one is gonna go on top and one is gonna go on the inside. And yes, I am doing this backwards. Usually our cards open this way, but on this guy, we want the opening towards the left. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my adhesive. Yes, Heather, this paper does speak for itself. It is so bright and cheery, and that's what I need today, is some bright and cheeriness. And good evening, Stephanie, welcome. So I'm gonna put one piece on the outside, kind of just line this up, make sure you have all the same size on all the same sizes on all 4 sides. And this piece is gonna go on the inside. This is where you're gonna write your sentiments. If you can get past all of the measurements, it goes together pretty quickly. So I'm gonna, actually we can still work on that. So we have our 1 piece of designer series paper, and that's gonna get glued down to the front. You can make 3 of these cards out of 1 sheet of designer series paper. If you cut it at the 3 3/4 by 12 inch mark, you can get 3 cards out of 1 sheet. That's pretty good for this card. Okay, so let's bring in our card base, and we are going to put our basic white piece down first. There's lots of layers. I wouldn't make a million of these cards. Oh, you know what, unless it was an invitation, I would make a million if I was doing an invitation with them. But I wouldn't make a million just to make a million. Maybe a half a million, just teasing. So literally all we're doing is lining all of these pieces up. There we go. And these 2 pieces, I'm gonna build this one before I attach it to the card. So there we go. Good evening, Christina. Thanks for joining. And I don't think there is a directional, I don't think this is a directional specific designer series paper. So let's go ahead and add some adhesive to that side, and we're gonna close our little flap, and this is going to attach here. So the card definitely looks like, oh my goodness, that is definitely not doable, but it totally is. So now all we have to do is glue this to the inside. Is that not like super cute and easy? It didn't look easy, but once you've got everything cut and ready to go, it is definitely an easy card. I am gonna put a little extra adhesive on this guy because this is really what's gonna hold your card together. So I'm gonna kind of open this up a tad, slide it inside, and I just wanna line this up. I wanna give it a little bit of wiggle room just to make sure everything looks like it's straight. And that looks really good. So now I'm just gonna give it a good press because there is a bunch of glue underneath it. And you can pull this out and hold that down a little bit more. Who would have thought that a fun fold could be so easy? Now I will tell you, because of all of the layers, it is a little bit heavier. It should still be fine in a normal stamp. I wouldn't think it would need more than 1 stamp, but if you put too much dimension on the top of it, or If you make it too busy, it might need 2 stamps. And I already stamped the hooray because I wasn't entirely sure how long this card was going to take to put together. And I stamped that in Starry Sky, and I cut it out using the mini pocket envelopes, this little die on the inside. So there you go. It is a super quick and easy fun fold. So here's the Starry Sky. Here is the Granny Apple Green. So you guys will have to tell me which color you like best. But we still have one more, so don't make your decision just yet. I wanted to bring in the Fresh Freesia to see if we liked that one any better. But there's literally probably 5 or 6 more colors that's in this designer series paper that you could definitely go to. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Christina. Yes, they both are. They are just fun. Let's get that going the right direction. So I folded the card base in half, and then I pushed it back and gave it a good crease. So there is our little mechanism. Here is, you're sticking with Starry Sky. I know, that one I love the Granny Apple Green too. I couldn't decide. So here's our little mechanism. So we'll start working on this just so you don't get confused and just start doing it like a normal card. We want to make sure that opening is facing the left. Let's grab our basic whites. And I'm not entirely sure why I'm doing this a little bit backwards. I usually glue the designer series paper on first. But maybe some of you guys do it this way and I do it wrong. So to add some adhesive. It goes together really quick. I was really shocked. There we go. And let's add our designer series paper to it. Oh, that Fresh Freesia is really pretty too. You could even use that side. But I'm sticking with the bright cheery side. But even some of the pale, the Orchard Oasis would be gorgeous with this as well, or even the crushed curry. Possibilities are endless. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down first before I put it down to the card base. There we go. One nice thing about green glue is you have a little bit of wiggle room. Let's bring this in. I can honestly say we're probably gonna have the quickest Facebook Live ever. And I really thought it was gonna take a bit longer. There we go. I actually have to run to Walgreens after the Facebook Live to pick up, I finished my daughter's save the date invitations today. So I need to pick those up so I can play with them and work with them on Saturday. So there's lots. Just gonna set that down and press it down just so it holds it. Let's add some more adhesive. Perfect. And then all we need to do is glue our centerpiece in. And then we can attach our little sentiment and we're done. I should have made more of these. They were actually super fun to do. So I am adding a lot of adhesive to the back. So I just want to kind of open it a smidgen so I can slide this in and kind of just play with it until it gets in the spot you want it. I was thinking about, while I hold this closed and move it over, I'll bring this one back in. I was thinking about putting in maybe a little bit of a magnet on the back of it, or some Velcro strips, those little tiny Velcro things, but I still think this would pop up. So I don't think that it would help close it, but honestly, I think it is so cute. I don't really mind that it pops up a little bit. And let's grab the Hooray in Fresh Freesia. We're gonna add a couple mini dimensionals to the, or regular dimensionals to the back of it. And put this right in the center. Now you guys can tell me which color you like best. So we have the Fresh Freesia, we have Starry Sky, or we have Granny Apple Green. I think they all are super fun and different and just hooray. I think it'll totally put a smile on somebody's face when they get that in the mail. So let me point you back over. So Nora, you like the Starry Sky? It is gorgeous. Virginia, hello. Oh, you can hardly hear me? I'm so sorry. I think everything's okay on my end. I do know that once I upload the video to Facebook, it does fix the audio. I have no idea what it is that it doesn't like it when I am live, but once I upload the video, things should sound okay. So thank you, Heather. Again, I will not be live on Thursday. It is the first day of our weekend retreat, so I am knee-deep in ordering food and making sure we're all good and having a great time, and I might have a glass of wine or two by then, so I don't want to go live after I've had a glass of wine. Nobody probably wants to see that. But anyway, I will be back on Tuesday for another fun project. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If not, I will see many of you guys on Thursday and Friday, and even this weekend. Have a great day, and thank you so much for joining me. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.